Ninth pick. They traded it with the Carolina Panthers. Welcome back. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry I interrupt. Okay, all right, hold on a second. Welcome back. I wanted to let you know the Browns have taken Jeremiah Azuio Koromoa, linebacker, Notre Dame, with training with the Carolina Panthers for the 52nd pick, which they had the 59th but traded. And the Tennessee Titans are now on the clock, but their pick is in. But joining me right now to discuss this pick the Browns made, is my buddy Keith Norman, who can hear as a frequent calling guest on the Big Show, hosted by Tony Rizzo on Sports Radio AM 850 WKNR. Keith, what are your thoughts on this pick? Jeremiah OSU Koromoa, linebacker, Notre Dame. What are your thoughts? Because this guy's phenomenal.
JOK, thank you for having me on your podcast, Scott. JOK has been highly touted by the Browns. According to ESPN's Tony Grossi, he had him highly in this mock draft. This guy is probably one among the top linebackers in the position that was sorely needed by the Browns. This guy has a high motor. He has the ability to go from side to side. He is an excellent run stopper. He has the ability to rush the quarterback, and at times can go on pass defense. This is a position that the Browns sorely needed to address on the defensive end, and now with this selection, along with the first round pick, Craig Newsom II from Northwestern, which was an excellent pick by the Browns, by the way, because I think he's going to be one of the top quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I can agree with you on that. The Browns really needed that one. Yeah. And this one, I think, was one of the picks that the Browns really needed, and I think it was a good one for them. And I want to get your thoughts on the pick from last night, Greg Newsom II. What are your thoughts on that one? The
of being a hard hitter and a ball hawk. He immediately is going to fit right into the Browns' secondary, and they'll probably use him as a number 2 starter. But they're saying his potential is very high. He may even have the potential to overtake Ward to become the number 1 quarterback as far as the Browns. Watch out for
yeah, and I can agree with you on that. I can highly agree.
Watch for this guy. He's going to be something.
Yes, he is. I can agree. And the NFL schedule for the upcoming season will be released on Wednesday, May 12th. I wanted to point that out. Keith, I'll check back in with you because the Browns have 2 picks coming up in round 3 of the NFL draft. So I will check back in with you then. I know you'll call me back then, what you will do. All right, thank you, Keith. I appreciate your input, buddy.
All right, thank you, Scott.
All right, bye-bye.
You got your new customers. They get our best deals. You got your existing customers. They also get our best deals. Everyone gets the deal. Questions. Got it. But why did you use a permanent marker?
And
Because I want to make sure you remember.
the Tennessee Titans took Dallin Ranuez, who was I gotta wait till I see him. But they had really taken a good player in Dylan Ranuez. I think he's from. What I'm trying to see, waiting to come up the screen, but he's a great player. The Colts pick is in. We're waiting for that to come in, and with they've already had one. They have not had a pick yet in round 2, no, but they did have a pick last night. They did have a pick last night, Indianapolis Colts. The 21st pick, Kwity Paye, defensive end, Michigan, which I mentioned earlier. And I thought that was a good pick for them. They needed a defensive end, but I think they're going to go with defensive end or a safety, I think. But we'll get the draft back on the screen in just a moment. But this was a one of those picks where anything could happen, and just really, I think with the Browns though, that this was a great pick. He's going to be phenomenal, along with the one we got last night, Greg Newsome II. So I think it's going to be a phenomenal. But between those two, it's going to be phenomenal, and we will see what happens with those picks. And hopefully, they're going to really try to make the roster, and we will see what happens. But right now, we're waiting for the Indianapolis Colts pick to come in. The draft is in commercials, so I'm just going to continue to talk. Talk about the Browns. This was a good trade for the Browns to make, and it got them a great quarterback, great linebacker, and I think it's going to be phenomenal with that. And I really think this is going to be a really a good player for the Browns. We're waiting for the Colts pick to come in just a moment. And so I think now the Panthers will have the 59th pick instead of the Browns. And there's a lot of other good players out there that a lot of these teams are going to try to make moves for a lot. And I know the Browns are going to continue to make some good moves in this draft. And I just really feel that this was one of those, the pick that they just got was one of the best. The Colts were 11-5 last season, and they got Carson Wentz now as their quarterback. 11-5 record, most wins since 2014. And I know they're going to want to do better, really do better than that this season. Excuse me. And we're about to find out who the Indianapolis Colts are about to select right now with the 54th pick. Dayo Adeniyibo, defensive end, Vanderbilt. And I think he's a defensive end from Vanderbilt. And I think that's a good choice for because they do need a defensive end, and because their defense just struggled a lot last week, last year, and they just need to really improve on that on their defense and their offense. The Pittsburgh Steelers are back on the clock, and they've already had I think no, they have not had a pick at all this round, but they did get a pick in last night. I'm trying to see where it came in, but I know Pittsburgh did. I know Pittsburgh had one. I'm trying to find where it is. I am sorry. I know Pittsburgh did have a pick in here last night. And number 24. They took Najee Harris, running back, Alabama. So now this was a good pick. That was a good pick because they needed a running back. And the Steelers pick is in. We are always in. Dylan Ramirez, offensive tackle, North Dakota State. That's where it was. That was a good pick for the Tennessee Titans. The Steelers pick is in, and we're going to find out who they selected right now. And we beat them in the AFC wildcard game last season. And Franco Harris is about to present to tell us who it is.
The Pittsburgh Steelers select Pat Freiermuth from Penn State.
Tight end, Penn State. Yeah, Freiermuth. A tight end from Penn State. And I thought they would go to wide receiver. This is another surprise pick, but I think it's a good pick for Pittsburgh. And now the Seattle Seahawks are back on the clock. But I think this was a good pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers because I feel they really need a tight end. And they were 12-4 in first place in the NFC. The Seattle was 12-4 in first place in the NFC West. And so yeah, three total picks entering this draft, and Russell Wilson was sacked 47 times in 2020, third most in the NFL. And I know he's not going to want to let that happen again, but I think this time they're going to go with either a linebacker or a guard in this pick this round, the Seattle Seahawks, and we're waiting for that to come in. But and we're starting to wind down round 2 of the NFL draft, but we're waiting for Seattle's pick to come in. And the Browns do have a pick in all the rounds. They have the 89th pick in the 3rd round and the 91st pick in the 3rd round. So they'll have 2 picks in the 3rd round. The Browns will have. And so the draft is back in commercials. I've got at least about 2.5 minutes left in this segment. So hopefully I get this pick to be revealed before I have to take a break. But I think this was a good one. I thought they would take a wide receiver, but I think that tight end for Pittsburgh, they needed that. And I think this is a good pick, Pat Freiermuth. And he put up some big numbers in his career, and I think his college career, I think he's going to be good with Pittsburgh. And I just really feel that this was a good pick for him. And we will know in 20 seconds. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars pick the Seattle Seahawks, excuse me, their pick will be in. And I just think they're going to go with a linebacker or a guard. And the pick is in, so we're waiting just a few moments for it to come in. So we will find out that pick in just a moment. And so, and I want to, and I think Seattle, wants to have another great season and have a better 12-4, but even do better than that. So we will see. Next season we'll have to wait, but this is another team that's going to be able to make some moves. Well, I think they're going to go, I said, a linebacker and a guard. I think that either that linebacker or a guard in this round of the draft. So we will see who they will take. I've got 55 seconds. I'm going to take a break. We'll be right back. Night 2 of the NFL draft continues in just a moment.